Title: Moonlit Secrets. In the small town of Eldermoor, whispers of the woods spun tales of terror around flickering campfires and in the hushed corridors of the high school. The woods overshadowed the town, their dense trees steeped in mythology, but none struck as much fear as the legend of the werewolves. Locals claimed that when the moon was full, you could hear the howls echoing through the starlit night, rising from deep within the shadowy forest. 15-year-old Emma Donovan had heard the tales all her life. Growing up in Eldermoor, she and her friends would often dare each other to venture beyond the tree line during a full moon. But Emma had always dismissed the legends as childish fantasy, a mere ploy to scare kids into obeying their parents. Until the night she decided to put her courage to the test. It was the night of the blue moon, a rare celestial event that painted the sky in cobalt hues and ignited the townsfolk's imaginations. Emma, feeling a mix of excitement and rebellion, gathered her two closest friends, Sam and Lily. They planned to sneak out to the woods, not far from the old stone bridge by the creek, where the whispers about the werewolves were the loudest. "I told you, it's just a myth," Emma insisted, her bravado wavering slightly as they walked deeper into the woods. "There's no way werewolves are real." Lily rolled her eyes, her heart quickening as branches snapped under their feet. "Perhaps not, but something crazy happened to my cousin once. He swears he saw a wolf on 2 legs. I think we should get out of here." "Stop being such a wuss," Sam said, but he was hesitant himself, glancing nervously at the moonlit trees. "Let's just get to the bridge and back. Besides, if we don't go, they'll think we're scared." As they approached the stone bridge, the air thickened with unease. The lush greenery faded into a stillness befitting a graveyard. Shadows flickered with each gust of wind, and the distant howl of a wolf echoed through the trees, sending shivers down their spines. Emma, resolute, pressed on. When they reached the bridge, the moon bathed everything in an eerie silvery glow. They peered into the creek below, its gentle murmurs a stark contrast to the tension hanging in the air. "Okay, let's make a pact," Emma said, raising her hand. "We all agree that if something weird happens, we stick together, right?" "Deal," Sam and Lily said in unison, doing the same. Minutes passed as they laughed nervously and exchanged stories designed to ward off the creeping chill, until a sudden rustling broke the silence. A gigantic shadow slipped between the trees, and before they could comprehend, a creature emerged from the darkness. It was massive, its fur matted and thick, eyes glimmering like moonlight caught in sharp fangs. The creature stood on its hind legs, muscles rippling under its wild coat, nostrils flaring as it caught their scent. The air was thick with terror. Emma's bravado shattered like glass at that moment. "What is that?" Lily shrieked, panic clutching her throat. It's a dog, I think," Sam stuttered, though even he didn't believe it. The creature craned its head, and moonlight revealed its terrifying visage. This was no ordinary beast. The legends were true. Before they could react, the werewolf lunged towards them. Emma screamed, grabbing Lily's hand, the three of them breaking into a panicked sprint back towards the path. The beast chased after them, its breath hot and loathsome behind, shadows stretching as they raced towards the tree line. "Go, go," Emma cried, but the darkness felt alive, branches clawing at them as they rushed through the underbrush. With every beat of their hearts, the dull rhythm of their feet on the ground became a symphony of fear, and the howls mingled with the echoes of their panicked breaths. The bridge was a blur behind them, and as the trees began to thin, Emma felt hope surge. They were almost free. But as they broke through into the clearing, they stumbled to a halt at the sight before them. The town, typically full of life at night, was now a cold, shadowy expanse. But beneath its surface lay a stillness, the streets devoid of life, streetlights dim, as if the departure of the sun had left the town hushed in terror. In the center of the square stood a figure, tall and hulking. The werewolf stood, now silhouetted against the faint light, watching. In a horrid twist, Emma felt the beast's gaze upon her, piercing and familiar. It took a step closer, and recognition slammed into her gut. Swallowed by horror, she turned to Sam and Lily. "Wait, it can't be." Their eyes grew wide, shaking their heads in disbelief, mirroring her own internal dread. As quick flashes of memory surged, faded images of community gatherings and familiar laughter, an unsettling realization gripped her. "Emma, Lily whispered, her voice trembling. It can't be. The figure melted into the shadows, but Emma could swear she saw a grin spread across its snout, a grin she'd just seen days ago when she'd laughed with her neighbor, Mr. Hartman, who often entertained local children with exaggerated stories about the woods. All at once, the weight of the realization fully settled on her. The lesson was in the legends all along. The creature they had run from wasn't just any werewolf, it was someone they knew. And everyone was right. The monsters weren't always in the shadows. Sometimes, they wore the faces of the ones who lived among them. As the realization settled in her heart, Emma couldn't help but wonder if Eldermoor was more than just a small town battling old myths. It was a place where the truth lurked in the dark, waiting for the full moon to reveal its secrets.